Hello, I know it's Sunday evening in Sydney, Australia, and I know later in New Zealand. And of course, to everybody in the Northern Hemisphere or South Africa and Europe, hi, good morning. I wanted to check in with you this morning. I know it's a Sunday and I'm getting ready for my day tomorrow and my week. And I wanted to jump in with a thought for you because I had the most glorious visit yesterday from a friend of mine. And you know who you are. We were talking about connection and we were talking about the importance of it and how easily we can isolate ourselves. And really, I think we don't recognize that the more we step away from each other, the more we start getting into a bit of a comfort zone, and we actually start feeling empty and lonely. And I wanted to share a few things with you as you're settling into your Sunday evening or possibly starting your Sunday morning, wherever in the world you might be. Firstly, I think that I've suffered from isolation. I have hidden from people. Specifically in my private life, work always, I needed to be there. I needed to work. I needed to be part of my business. Yet, I always felt in my personal life that I was struggling with connection. Um, and I wanted to read something that Maya Angelou has said, and I have put it in the caption of this little live bite today on Ignite Television, but I want to share it with you. And it says, "Nobody but nobody makes it out here alone. What really matters now is love. I mean, that condition in the human spirit that is so profound, it allows us to rise. Strength, love, courage, love, kindness, love. That is really what matters. There has always been evil out there, and there always will be evil. But there has always been good, and there is good now." I really like that. I love Maya Angelou. But why would I share this? Because I think we fear connection and we don't show up for a life that we could really be living. I'll tell you what, a friend of mine visited me, Yolandi out there. If you're seeing this, I love you. And she visited me a few years back, and I just flown back from an interstate trip and was really exhausted. And she'd arrived from South Africa. And she was so excited to see me. And when she saw me, she said, "What's wrong?" And I had just realized over that time that I had isolated myself in my personal life to such a degree that I felt I was so lonely and that I wasn't worthy of connection and love. It's insane. Like, I can't even imagine that right now. And she sat down with me and she reminded me that I was loved. And she reminded me the value of friendship. And she reminded me how much she loved me. And it was profound for me because I'd pushed that away. And all I did was work really hard. And all I needed was someone to see me. And you know, I love connection. So I'm going to give you the quote on connection. Connection is the energy that exists between us. When I feel seen, heard, and valued, and when I look at you, I can see, hear, and value you. And you and I can give and receive without judgment. And because of that, we can get sustenance and joy from the relationship. So why do we isolate? Because we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be judged for what we already feel we're lacking. And we're so scared somebody else might see it too. The problem is that's related to shame. And I need to tell you what shame does. If I don't recognize what I'm fearing and the shame story that might be attached to that, my own shame story, I'm not going to let you in. And as I was speaking to this wonderful friend of mine that caught up with me yesterday, and out there, Lindy, man, I love you. We spoke about how do I open myself up? And I was sharing this in a workshop I was running on Friday. Vulnerability is the key that unlocks my heart to connection. See, when I open my heart and I look inside, I've actually got to do some acceptance and love of me first. So I'm going to share 4 things with you. I know I'm having way too much fun sharing my heart with you today, but the first one is choose to have courage to love yourself first and to look inside you and those fear stories you're telling yourself that's keeping you separate and isolated from others. Why don't you tell yourself a new story? And why don't you look at that fear and remember who you really are? You were born and you were made to be connected with others. You weren't made to be alone. Second one, have the courage to connect. Reach out to those people that you know in your life are there, but you've avoided them. And I've got a confession to make. I struggle when I came to Australia years and years ago. I had to leave my family behind. And my brothers have lived in the UK for years now. And it's an effort for me sometimes to connect. Yet I know it's so important. And the effort isn't the connection. The effort is connecting to that feeling of deep love and not knowing when I'll see someone again. We're all different, but what I will tell you is after I've spoken to them, Francois and Paul, I love you so much. I miss you. And it was so nice to touch base with you on some messages this week. See, we were made to be part of something else, some people, those around us. And the next one is choose to step out of your comfort zone. Years ago, I spoke to Josh, and he was struggling to go to school and struggling to connect with others. And I said, Josh, can you just show up for your life? What a crazy thing. Maybe I should ask myself, can I show up for my life? Maybe I should ask you, can you have the courage to show up for your life and to connect with others, recognizing that they will do the best they can? And as soon as we all fear judgment, let's get it out there. What if they don't like me? What if they don't hear me? What if they don't see me? What if they do? What if they do? And then I think the key thing we've always got to remember is we are worthy of love and connection. And no story and no failure and no shame can separate us from that. But you see, we separate ourselves first. So maybe it's time to come back to who we are and just to love who we are. And thank you so much for somebody on LinkedIn that's just shared a thought. Thank you. I appreciate that. Exactly right. We need the courage, and we need to be able to recognize that fear is the thing that holds us away from each other. So I want to share this to you as you step into your week. Tonight, if you want to reach out to somebody that you really care for, just to connect, why not do that? Why not have the courage to invite someone for a cup of tea, to go out for a coffee with somebody, to just say hello, and maybe to extend who you are so that we can be better together because it fills our soul. This is Christina Foxwell. I'm sharing this with you from my own life story because I'm sitting here with you today, and I am so, so grateful for the love I have in my life and the people and the customers and my clients and the people I work with that surround me with love and with care. And it becomes such a beautiful exchange of connection. So I can't wait to speak to you. I'll check in with you tomorrow again. Have a beautiful Sunday evening, or a beautiful Sunday, or if you're in the US, Saturday evening. This is Christina Foxwell. Take care. Check in soon. Bye then.